Okay, let's do this. I have changed all my perimeters. I'll connect to the little 5-inch. I'll show you. We'll just compare real quick. Maybe this is the easiest way. And you'll see the changes I made are, here's your PIDs, went from that 0.016875 to 135. I had to drop the D there, went back to its default. Same thing on the roll. This was pitch up here. This is the roll. Maybe it's easier just to look at right here is where I turned off the fast Fourier translations. That's what I call it anyway. It's now at 0, and also right here is the INS notch filter enable is now at 0. And we'll just look at these other things over here real quick. It's easier. Set these back to the defaults. 0.135, 0.135, 0.0036 for both roll and pitch. And we're going to start out now again as if we had just finished building this. Oh, by the way, down here it shows the notch filter is in fact disabled. So we're ready to fly.
Motor disabled.
I couldn't see oscillations, but I could hear them. So we're going to come right in here and divide these 6 by half. So 0.135 divided by 2 is 0.0675. So we'll put that right here. 0.0675 0.0675 0.0675 0.0675 and right here point 0.0036 divided by 2 is 0.0018. Point 0018. Point 0018. Right perimeters. Now we'll go do it again.
Transmitter battery low. Transmitter battery low. Motor disabled.
Boy, what fun. It sounded better. I think I'm going to try an altitude hold.
Transmitter battery low. Transmitter battery low. Altitude hold. Transmitter battery low. Stabilize. Transmitter battery low. Motor disabled.
Okay, when I went into altitude hold, I heard some of that
Sounds like oscillation I didn't
Transmitter
like.
battery low.
So we're going to cut them in half again.
So this time we'll cut these down to 0.3375. And we'll cut this one down to 0.0009. There we go. And we'll try it again. Oops. Yep, that's not correct. It's 0.03375, not 3375. 0.03375. And write that. Yeah, it doesn't complain about that. Okay, now we'll go try it again.
I did like the way it sounded in stabilized mode that time.
Altitude hold.
And altitude hold's not making as much noise, and altitude hold seems to be working. Altitude hold seems to be working very well.
Stabilize. Motor disabled.
And I didn't hear any of the junk when I went into altitude hold that time, and I went ahead and flipped it into auto tune real quick, and it started auto tuning. So I'm going to leave it like that. I think we can get away with that, hopefully. And this is how I had my radio set up. Channels 11 and 12 right here are the emergency motor stop, and I don't want to accidentally hit this and dump it by accident, so both of these have to be pulled forward. So I've anded those, a Boolean logic and in the radio. So flying just now, I went ahead and pulled this one forward, and then when I got ready to dump it, I just touched this one.
Motor disabled.
So I don't want to do that normally. I want this one back, so I have to consciously pull both of them forward.
Motor disabled.
But if I know something might get funky, I'll go ahead and pre-arm the motor emergency stop that way. And let me show you how I did that in the radio real quick for kicks and grins.
And this is what I'm talking about. I've got my logical one function as an and the logic is if SG and SH is high, then a function will happen. So you can also see here in my mixes for channel 12, which is where I have that emergency motor cut off, that we're looking at switch logical 1. And over here, logical 1 is also when logical 1 is invoked, it plays motor disabled. So now to finish up, we're going to come over here into our parameters. And we're going to re-enable FFT. I'm going to change change that from a 0 to a 1, tab right. And we're going to re-enable our notch filter, INS underscore NT. Oops, that's HNT. And here's our first notch filter. So we're going to enable it again with a 1 and right. And we'll just refresh all those real quick. And we can see this is still a 1, which is different from the default. It has to be there. The rest of these can be at default, except for what mode. We're in FFT mode. Everything else is default, except also the enabled perimeter. That's all good. And then FFT. It's still got the 207 for the frequency it found, and the bandwidth is 98, so that goes down to about 100 and up to 300. So that's covering that area well. So with that, I'm just going to write these out again for kicks and grins, and we're going to save that to file. And we'll save that to the little 5-inch right here over top of this. There we go. Now we're ready to go auto-tune. Boy, isn't that something? So not thinking well, not performing well. Almost 3 months ago, set this thing up poorly. It bit me. Darn Tron God. He got me that time, but I ended up defeating him back. So it's already almost 4 o'clock. We've got to go eat. There won't be any auto-tune flown today. I will do that as quickly as possible. I did hear a little bit of strangeness when I put it into auto-tune, kind of like the Althold was doing before. But I think the auto-tune will get that out of it. We'll see. We'll do the auto-tune, we'll shut it down, we'll bring it back up and put it back in Althold, and I think all of that stuff will be gone. But that's for another day. Thank you so much.